Hello, welcome to day 2 of the Gospel according to Child Protection and Safeguarding. How are you today? Before we start, I'm going to read a quote, and this is from Lady Bird Johnson. Children are likely to live up to what you believe of them. Children are likely to live up to what you believe of them. You know, every child carries identity. Every child carries dignity, purpose, and divine design. Children were designed from the manufacturer, who is God, the creator. They came with dignity, they came with their identity, they came with a purpose, right? Now, we're talking about safeguarding and child protection. Safeguarding begins with when adults stop seeing children as an inconvenience, right? And start seeing them as image bearers carefully crafted by God. I know you say, oh, we don't see children as inconveniences. Sometimes we do. Unconsciously, we don't know, because our children have come to interrupt us, right? So we see them as that. When you abuse, neglect, humiliate, or exploit a child, you attack the child's identity as a person. Now, growing up, a lot of us heard a lot of terrible things that our parents, caregivers, even friends said to us, right? A child who constantly hears words that are useless, that is not healthy to their soul and their body, what do you think the child will become? So I grew up in Benin City, in Edo State. I love my people, right? And I heard a lot of words on the streets. Around me, I heard words. And I mean, just having friends, we've compared notes. It feels like this cuts across that era of parenting. Now, I wrote some here so that I don't forget. One of the popular things I heard in Benin was Ozwoda. God, I beg. Do you know what it means? In our local parlance, you don't mad finish. Who tells a child that? So imagine a child constantly hearing that every morning, Ozwoda. That's one. Then another one is Uda, and then you push your head like this. What does that mean? Bad head. So if you keep calling a child bad head, bad head, bad head, and then 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line, you expect this child to suddenly become an amazing child when you have invested negativity in this child. Let me give you another one we say for those of us who are a bit posh. Why can't you be like other children? Why can't you be like, it's okay? Why can't you be like, we keep comparing our children, you know, and then they begin to fight themselves against the design that God has called them to be. Unconsciously in their mind, they're trying to find, where do I fit in? Where do I belong? Because these are the things you said to them. I mean, I met a man, I think 3 years ago. As at the time I met him, he was in his 40s, mid-40s. And he said, very sad, his father always told him that he was good for nothing and that he would amount to nothing no matter what he did. Now I understand that he's an adult, so he has the right to make choices and change those words and create a new pattern for himself. But guess what? He was locked in those words that his father said to him. It was difficult. It was difficult. If he started something, he would say, I don't think I can see this through. Before he even begins, I don't think I can see this through. Right? That was a problem. And it was from the advent of words that his father said to him. Children build their self-worth from the mirror around them. So it is what you say to the child that they begin to believe. I know we say sometimes don't overhype the child even when they are bad. No, that's not what we're saying. We're not saying that you should tell a child who isn't doing well that you know what you're doing good. No, that's not what we're saying. A child is like a flower. The more you water it, nurture it, it begins to bloom. Just imagine you having plants, or you say you're a gardener, you don't water your plants, and then you expect them to bloom and be beautiful. No, they have a life of their own. That's not going to happen. The voices in the child's environment are often the voices in the child's head. Remember that thing that we say as adults, when you want to do something, but maybe when you're in university, that thing our parents used to say to us, remember the child of whom you are. When you want to do something, you just hear your mother's voice or your father's voice. That's it. The voices in a child's environment often becomes the voice in a child's head. Now, how do we secure a friendly and protective environment for children? How? When we constantly take away the essence of who they are by the words that we speak concerning them. Safeguarding also means protecting a child's sense of worth. A child is worthy. A child has dignity. A child came with their design. They came. And sometimes, you know what we do? We alter the design. Because oftentimes, we don't carefully sit down to understand the manual of this divine gift that we've been given. Never speak carelessly to a child. Don't do it. Because a child's spirit is still forming. And whatever you say to the child, because children are like sponges, they take it in, right? And the words become the architecture of their lives. They begin to run on those words. Remember, an architect, they use certain materials. So today, you are plastering the child as a fool. Tomorrow, you are plastering the child as a dundee. What kind of child do you think you have? A child who probably is an amoeba, formless. And that's because of what you called your child, right? And it's amazing because a lot of adults are recovering from these things. I know that we might argue with this. It's fine, but do your research. A lot of adults are recovering from the label placed on them from childhood. Yes, they should be able to navigate themselves. They become adults, but a lot of them are still struggling. It takes divine intervention. It takes a lot of awareness and consciousness, and the person being willing to participate in their journey of change to cause that to happen. Correct a child, but don't destroy the child's dignity. Correct a child, but do not destroy a child's dignity. You see that thing where you say that you want to beat your child in the middle of the street for your neighbors to gather and beat the child? Honestly, to what end? That's not what I mean by it takes a village to raise a child. No. Correct a child, but do not destroy the child's dignity. When a society fails to protect their children, it is not only a social failure, it is a spiritual failure of stewardship, because safeguarding is protection in action. So I'm going to leave us with the charge. If God calls children fearfully and wonderfully made, then safeguarding children means treating their lives, emotions, body, and voices as sacred. It is important because everything rises and falls on childhood. The way you treat your children, the words you say to them are very important. Are you raising a wholesome child, or you are raising a child who is formless with the words that you say? This is a very emotional topic because I've had to deal with a couple of adults through the years who have been told that they are worthless, who have been told that they are ugly. And it's from their house. How do you bet a child? And then, even if you are joking, the next thing you say is, big head, it's so ugly. Who does that? This your nose is formless, so I hope you will marry one day in life. Who does that? And even you as adults, be careful what you say to the children around you and even the adults around you. Remember that a child is worth protecting and childhood deserves to be preserved. I'll see you again tomorrow. From me, it's goodbye and God bless you.